What's up, people? You've seen the title, you know why you're here. Decided to show you guys this song today because it's one of my favorites to loop. And if you want to skip to the end, I'll put a timestamp in the description of like at what point I do, because I'm gonna do a little looping cover here at the end of all the parts that I show you. But basically, I'm gonna show you all of the guitar parts and bass parts for Your Dog by Soccer Mommy. Yeah, so let's get into it. Let me just turn on my amp here. So the first thing you're gonna do, I'll start out with the bass. It stays the same throughout the whole song. Oh, by the way, this is in standard tuning. The bass stays the same through the whole song. I'm gonna play it on guitar, so obviously it will sound different on a real bass. But the only time it changes is in the pre-chorus. I'll get to that later. Same with the main guitar part. Okay, so the bass in this song very much slaps. It's an easy line, but I like it a lot. So it's going to start on the E string, the low E. You're going to go 3rd fret of the E down to the 2nd fret of the E, and then take the same pointer, just slide it down one string to the A, 2nd fret, and then you're going to slide it all the way up to the 5th fret of the A, and then you're going to do an open A. Those are all your notes, and then it's going to sound like this, all put together. The one tricky bit in there is like the second time you hit this note here, you're just gonna slide into the next one, so you're not actually gonna strum the next one. So it's like that. And I guess if that's hard for you, you could always go like, but if you can just slide it, sounds good. Anyways, so all together that's. Okay, not too bad. Then we're going to get into the main guitar part. Stays exactly the same except for the pre-chorus. And it's just 3 power chords, standard power chords on the 3rd fret here. So I'm just playing these top 3 notes here. Okay, and I'm only hitting those top 3 strings, so kind of like strum down and away so that you don't hit the bottom 3 down here. So it's, and then we're gonna move it up to the, I think this is the 7th fret. Yeah, the 7th fret, same shape, and then down to the 5th fret. So then if you just do that with the rhythm of the song, it's like, and I sometimes when I'm playing it, you might have just seen me do this, when I'm coming down, I lift up my pointer, and you don't have to do that, it just kind of like adds a bit of flair, I feel like, so it's like, and I just let that low E ring a bit. Yeah, so it's just like. That's it. Okay, now into the main kind of riffs. The intro riff is a little different from the chorus riff. It sounds super similar, but it took me a minute to realize it's not exactly the same. So I'll first show you the intro, which you're going to start. Here, let me get close here. On the B string at the, I think this is the 10th fret, you're going to slide into it. I use my ring finger, like that. And then the pattern all the way through, just think about like you're toggling only between these 2 fingers, and there's always going to be a gap in between, like a fret in between, if that makes sense. So what I mean is like, this is your first note here on the 10th fret, and then you're going to go down to the 9th. See how there's a fret in between? It's always going to be like that, and you're just going to be toggling between these 2 fingers pretty much the whole time. So it goes like this. Then down a string to the 11th fret, and then still we're toggling back and forth, and there's still a fret in between to the 9th fret. So it's like this. And then we're going to repeat that same thing over again. And then you're just going to take this, slide it down 2 frets, like that. So it's, and then you're going to take this finger, once again, gap, fret in between, but we're just going to scoot it down a string. And you're going to hit that twice. And then back up to this finger, so you don't really have to move that. You don't have to take that one off. And then you're going to hit 2 frets in front again. You've still got that gap in between. And then you're going to slide it up to the 11th fret, and then just back down to the 9th fret. So that's the first phrase. That kind of like intro riff has 2 phrases. So I'll go over it slowly again. So that's the first phrase. Then the second phrase starts out exactly the same. So and then at this point, you're literally going to repeat the same thing. But then you're going to hit the open bass string. Like that. So it's... Okay, and then all together, those 2 phrases together, your intro riff is going to be like this. Okay, that's like the intro, and it kind of only, that exact way of doing it really only happens in the beginning. And then the next like main chorus lick that happens, it sounds similar, but it's a little different. It took me a minute to figure it out, but it's actually, I would argue, a little easier than this, what I just showed you. All you're going to do is play your open B twice. And then I would take your middle finger and stick it on the, what is this, the 9th fret of the string below, the G string. So it's like this. And then you're going to take your pointer and hit the B on the 7th fret. And then you're going to take your ring and hit the B on the 10th fret. So, and then you're just going to go right back down to that pointer and then open. So, so that's the first phrase. I would say this lick has like 3 kind of phrases. So it's that first one, and then after you end on that open B, it goes into a, which you're just going to play by kind of barring these bottom 3 strings, except you're really only going to hit the 2, the G and the B down here on the 7th fret. Yeah. So after you finish that phrase, you're going to finish it on B, and then you're going to go straight into, and then you're going to end by scooting this finger down 1 on the G to the 6th. Then you're going to bring your middle into the B on the 7th, and then you're going to pull your pinky out, and that's going to be on the 9th of the E, high E. So it's going to sound like, oh, I kind of missed that note at the end. There you go. Okay, so one kind of weird thing that happens, and you don't have to do this if it's going to throw you off, but in the song, she sometimes does this little ghost note situation where it's like in between the... So if you hear right as it's transitioning from that first phrase into the second phrase, you expect to hit this B string twice, right? Like that. You would expect it twice. But she kind of does this little ghost note where she actually only hits it the one time and then pauses and just lets it ring through where that note would be and just goes straight into the... So here, listen to what I mean. It's like... Did you hear that duh? And it like rings through? That's what I'm talking about. If that throws you off, you don't have to do it. You can obviously go like... But if you want to try it, it sounds kind of cool to just be like. Yeah, that's it. Sometimes she also does. Like she kind of switches it up, where sometimes she'll be like versus. Yeah, but that's it. And then the pre-chorus, nothing too crazy happens. The bass in the pre-chorus is just on the D string, 2nd fret, and then the open G, and then the open D, and then 2nd on the G. So it's like, oh, sorry, that was wrong. That's it. And then right as it's going back into the main part, she does a little like, you don't have to do that, but it's literally just on the A string, 2nd, 4th, and then open D, and then back down to the 4th. It's like, if you listen closely, you'll hear it on the track. You don't really need to include it if you don't want. If you got someone playing bass, though, maybe. And then the chords for that, like the guitar chords, are just an E power chord to a power chord on the third fret, yeah. And then to a power chord starting on the A string at the 5th fret, like that, and then down to an A power chord. So it's like, oh, to always talk to other people, dart my eyes across the room, forehead kisses break my knees and leave me crawling back to you, 'cause and then it goes back into the chorus. Yeah, okay, and quickly, I know this is getting a little long, but I'll just show you how I loop this. This is the looping pedal I've got. I don't really know what it's called. It probably says on it. I don't know, but it's pretty standard. If you got one of these are super fun. So I'm just going to plug it in and then basically throw together a chorus of like what I just showed you. Yeah, so sorry, I'm trying to do this all in one take because my computer storage is like very bad right now. I have a kind of old computer. And I feel like there's definitely a conspiracy in, like, Apple or whatever to, like, make everyone's computers fail once they get old. Because it's not that old. My computer's, like, 5 years old. And it should not be having so many storage issues. I feel like they're just made to self-destruct. So then I'm going to have to go and get a new one. And I don't want to do that because I'm mad at Apple. But I'm going to have to do it to function because we're all so reliant on technology now. Which is shitty, but it is what it is. I don't really know what to say. So I'm trying to make this one last as long as I can get it to. Because those computers are expensive. And they don't last, they should last long. I mean, I think they should last longer than 5 years, right? Like a car, you can get that to last 30 years sometimes if it's a good one. I mean, my mom's car is like 20 years old and it's still going, you know. So I don't know why computers aren't the same way. But whatever. Anyways, all that to say, I'm trying to do this all in one take because I don't have space to edit this on iMovie in my computer. So I'll show you the loop quickly. It's all set up down there. Let's see if I can do this in one go. Okay, I failed, so I'm gonna have to borrow a friend's computer and like edit this in because I didn't make it in one take. Anyway, so let's try this again. I start out with a little like rhythm situation. I mean, don't have a drum, so I'll just be like. There we go. And then in a minute, I throw in some chords. So like. go. And you get the bass part. Nice. Then you got the main riff. Turn it off. There we go. Anyways, song slaps. Thanks for watching. Try it yourself.